Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. This is Jason Smith checking in for our monthly. Actually, we're doing monthly and some weekly updates here on different neighborhoods. Jason Smith with Keller Williams Real Estate here in Miami in the Coral Gables Coconut Grove office. So I would like to go and just let you know it's been an incredible run that we had in the playoffs with the Heat, the NBA Miami Heat, and the Florida Panthers in the NHL National Hockey League. We went to the finals with both teams. It was an incredible Cinderella run for both seeds. Seed number 8, ranked last seed, and we got to the finals. I had the pleasure of going to one of those games here in Miami against the Nuggets, and wow, super, super thrilling. So here we are. It's summer. There's some thunderstorms here, the late afternoon thunderstorms that we have that happen in Miami in the late summer afternoons. And we're going to dive into waterfront properties today. We're going to start at 2 million and above. That price point generally gets us more ocean access as opposed to waterfront homes on a lake with no ocean access. So we're talking ocean access homes today. We're going to compare Key Biscayne, where we have a beautiful $9.5 million. It's the best waterfront value on Key Biscayne at $9.5 million. We're also going to compare that market of Key Biscayne to Dade County in general for the ocean access homes, 2 million or above. So let me go ahead right now and I will share my screen with you. Hope you're having some great travels this summer. I've seen a lot of people on Facebook heading to Europe and different places. So enjoy, folks. Enjoy the summer. Here we are sharing the screen, and we are going to look at, right now, you should be seeing trend graphics. Is that accurate, Zyrel? Trend graphics. Great. So we're looking here at single family homes on the waterfront only, it says, from 2 million on up, just single family. So what is the picture? What is the story that we're seeing right here? As we've seen in the past, this here is the months of inventory, meaning how many months, if we take a look over here, the light green shows homes that were available for sale versus pending sales in the red stripes, or sold homes in the dark green. And if you divide each of these, you'll see, for instance, in January 2023, 5 available divided by 1 green should give us 5 months of inventory for January 2023. And that's what we see, 5 months of inventory. So that's basically how we gauge whether or not it's a seller advantage, buyer advantage, or somewhere in between. As we know, in early last year, 2022, before the June interest rate increase that we had in 2022, there were in the 2 million or above in Key Biscayne area, in Key Biscayne, 33149 zip code, there was 2 months of inventory, which is seller advantage because it's less than 6 months, which is considered a neutral market, right? It would take 2 months to sell all the properties that were available based on that consumption back then in March of 2022. The next month, incredible, less than 1 month, half a month of inventory, meaning it would take half a month, 2 weeks to sell everything on the water that if nothing else came on the water. Then you saw 1 month of inventory, seller advantage back in June. Then that July, still seller advantage. But then once those interest rates started to kick in, you started to see a dramatic increase to a buyer advantage over there on Key Biscayne for single family waterfront homes, 9 months. Still not a dramatic buyer advantage, but far different than it was 2 months earlier before the interest rate increase. So basically in October, November, December, 9 months of inventory favoring the buyers. Then the new year rolls around, holidays are behind us in January 2023. And that's when you start to see the market start to heat up for single family through the spring and the summer season coming up. And that's exactly what we've seen. We've seen 5 months of inventory in January, 5 months of inventory in February, which is a slight seller advantage because it's below 6 months. And then you see neutral market in March, April, and May. So it's been a neutral market for single family homes, 2 million or above on the water in the last 3 months. Now let's go ahead and contrast that with Dade County overall. So we're going to go to Dade, and we'll even do Broward for residential single family only, 2 million or above, waterfront only. Let's see what that chart looks like. It's So again, to reiterate, we had seller advantage most of early last year for Key Biscayne. It went from a seller to a buyer advantage late last year after the interest rate hikes. And then it's been in the 5 to 6 months range the last 5 months, which is a neutral market. So here we have it, the neutral market. Let's see how it looks for single family, 2 million or above on the water for the last 14 months or so in all of Dade and Broward. Much different, huh? Much different. So even last year, there was more inventory. Instead of half a month to 1 month on Key Biscayne, you saw 3.9 months to 6.4 months to 9.5 months to 14.2 months in August after the interest rate hike. So what is this telling us? It's telling us that Key Biscayne waterfront properties are very highly sought after. And even if the market in general for waterfront properties is climbing to 24 months, 22 and a half months, 17 months to start the year in January. So buyer advantage pretty much since July of 2022 has been a buyer advantage. It peaked in November, 24 months, 2 years of supply. Then in December, 22.5 months. Then the season starts to roll around, peak season, single family homes, holidays are behind us. You're looking at 17.7 back in January, 19.1. Again, buyer advantage, because anything over 6 months is a buyer advantage. Under 6 months is seller advantage or seller's market. March, we saw 12.2 months of inventory. And then April, 19.4 months and 10.4 months. So this really gives you a really good indicator right here of the difference between Key Biscayne and non-Key Biscayne waterfront properties, showing the desirability. Now let's take a, Zyrel, if you could you please show us the drone video, the marketing video of that listing that we have over on Key Biscayne?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. There's the property. It has 88 feet on the water, and it can be moved into the house is in very good condition. Backs up right there next to Bill Baggs State Florida Park. You can either put a new home there, you could update the existing one, you could rent the current structure for $20,000 a month or so. Next to the Cleat restaurant, walking distance, next to Boater's Grill, which is a very popular for the locals, delicious food over there with a beautiful view. It's a magical area, as you can see right here, with very limited supply. And it's really popular Key Biscayne because of the egress and the ingress. It's a 6-mile exit if you wanted to leave that residence, which makes it very secure, for homeowners that are looking for security. This really offers it. And again, you could put a large vessel there, 88 feet on the water. You got plenty of room for a big azimuth, big sunseeker, that type of thing. So thank you, Zyrel, appreciate that. So there we see the advantage of Key Biscayne and why there's so few. And yeah, so my message to you based on this information is that overall, it's a buyer's market right now with waterfront properties based on the last 5 months, 6 months, a year. It has been a buyer advantage, especially in the non-Key Biscayne areas. Key Biscayne, however, has been a neutral market where the buyers do not have that dramatic advantage as they do in other areas. Again, our listing is positioned at 9.5 million. It's surrounded by a listing across the street is asking 30 million. A listing 2 doors over or 3 doors over is asking 19, 20 million. So at 9.5, this listing is the best value on the market, and it's a storehouse of value for the right buyer. If you want to land bank it for a while, live in it, update it, rent it out, or build a new home if you're a spec builder, or if you want to build your dream house there, it's an amazing property. And I'd like to wrap up with this video right here of an event that we did last week. It was a broker's open house and it was very successful. We were able to raise $3,000 for Big Brothers Big Sisters. So it's something that is possible at these open houses. They can be acting as a fundraiser as well, which really was able to get us some great exposure for this amazing value on Key Biscayne. Go ahead, Zyrel.
everything you do for me. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And when I get rich, you know I got you.
Thank you, Zyrel. Appreciate that. Yeah, it was a wonderful day. And not only did we get some great exposure for the client, for our seller, but we were able to raise money for a very good cause. You saw the head of the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami was there, Gail Nelson, along with my little brother for the last, he's 30 years old now. He was 8. So for 22 years, he's been my little brother. Highly recommend that organization, Big Brothers Big Sisters Miami. And just a little bit more about the nuances of some of these waterfront properties. What makes this one so extraordinary is that there's no mangroves in the back, which allows you to park your vessel easily. There's less sand fleas, there's less insects as a result, and you don't have your view blocked by not having them when you don't have mangroves. Another aspect of this waterfront property, which is worth noting when you're looking for a waterfront property in Miami, is seaweed accumulation. This listing, for instance, it doesn't accumulate seaweed because it's not at the end of a canal, and it's not at the receiving end of the southeasterly prevailing breezes, which is also an issue when it comes to waterfront. I've had listings where in certain wind directions, you would see the seaweed come down the canal and just linger there. Not only is it unsightly, but it really starts to smell after a while, and you're just counting on the wind changing direction in order for it to clear up. The listing that I just showed you there, 151 Cape Florida Drive, that's not an issue because it's not at the end of the canal and there's never any seaweed accumulation there because it just flows by. It's an open flow. Another thing to consider on this particular property is that it has a turning basin to accommodate off to the right about 3 houses over for a 3-point turn to allow large vessels up to 100 feet to turn within the canal, which is very important. If you're looking to navigate in and out of this protected canal. Again, it is protected, so you're not going to have any large wakes coming because it's a quiet canal, but it does accommodate large vessels. Again, up to this one has 88 feet on the water. This is also something to consider is how high is the street above sea level. This one happens to be 7 feet, which is on Key Biscayne. It's one of the highest elevations above sea level on Key Biscayne. So these are all nuances to consider when you are looking for a waterfront property. I grew up on the water in Old Cutler Bay, so I have that knowledge that I can bring to the table for my buyers. Number 2, I'm an avid sailor myself and have experience on a 65, 75-foot Sunseeker, so know about those issues that are involved with that. And as an experienced paddleboarder, you actually get to go through each canal and really survey each canal on a paddleboard. It's like walking on the water, going by and seeing what the different aspects of each property are. something to consider when you're looking for waterfront property. We know it's a big investment, and why not go with somebody who has been living on the water and is familiar with Miami waterfront properties and the pluses and minuses of different locations. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great summer ahead, and please stay tuned for more of these market updates that we'll be doing on different neighborhoods for you, so you can stay up to date on what's really happening with the data in the market, as opposed to what you might be seeing in different media stories, etc. And I'm going to hand it over to Zyrel now. Floor is yours, Zyrel.
Thank you so much, Jason. And everyone, please don't forget to like or share our video, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified of our next Miami market update. Don't forget to leave a comment and tell us what neighborhood you want us to feature next. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, Zyrel. Take care, everybody. I couldn't have said it better myself. Talk to you soon. Bye.